This is the Startup Tri-Valley podcast, featuring in-depth conversations with the leaders who are making the Tri-Valley the go-to ecosystem for science-based startups. I'm Yolanda Fintschenko from Startup Tri-Valley.
I'm Lisa Adamos with the City of Pleasanton.
So I'd like to welcome today to the pod our Daybreak Labs entrepreneur in residence, founder of EazeBio, a Daybreak Labs member company, serial entrepreneur, co-author of Feed Your Good Genes, Avoid Autoimmune Disease, Tri-Valley resident, Reem Mahrat. Reem, thank you so much for being on the pod.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I just look really, truly excited to be here today with you.
So I'm going to kick things off because you have an extraordinary background. So I'm gonna give some people a teaser. One of the attractions to and advantages of having Reem Mahrat in our Tri-Valley startup ecosystem, especially as an entrepreneur in residence at our hard tech incubator, Daybreak Labs, is she is a serial entrepreneur. She started companies in life sciences, both in therapeutics and in diagnostics. And as you heard, she has a new company that she's actually starting from Daybreak Labs here in the Tri-Valley. And her last company, Ramen ID, was something that she was able to do in Pleasanton. And her background is just extraordinary because it's very rare to see life sciences founders who can actually span both therapeutics and your ability to do therapeutics and diagnostics is incredibly rare, and that's made you a huge resource for our founders. So I'd like you to maybe tell us a little bit about yourself, your company, and what your new company is doing, and maybe a little bit about what got you there.
Absolutely. First of all, thank you for having me. And I am actually a chemical engineer by training. Over the past 2 decades, I've been really involved in biotech industry, mainly building and scaling up biotech companies, including Ramen ID and Calico Biolab, where both been successfully acquired. And currently, I'm leading EazeBio, which is a biotech company that focuses on women's health. We're dedicated to transform women's health by through innovative point-of-care diagnostic. It's a biomarker-based testing, allow women to test at home, and it's accurate, accessible, easy to use. We are trying basically to close the gap in maternal, metabolic health and empower women. That's what we do. Our mission is very, very simple yet urgent. I guess all women facing same struggle. Our concerns sometimes or more often get dismissed or misdiagnosed, and we can't just wait for the system to catch up. We need to build the system, and that's why we started EazeBio. And thank you for being our home. It's been a great place for us to innovate. Daybreak Lab been really instrumental in our growth. I want to start from beginning. Actually, most of my executive team from Daybreak Lab and Tri-Valley. So it's a great talent pool, and also it's a state-of-art lab. We have access to everything we need, and Yolanda been taking care of us. If we need anything, it's not there. She make all the resources available. So thank you. And we're just loving it there. It's the best place to grow and innovate. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Reem. That's amazing. And I love the recognition you're giving Daybreak Labs. We feel the same way about you. And I'm curious because you are such a leader. You're an author. You're a scientist. You have started and successfully exited out of companies in a particularly difficult time to exit. And I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about what prepared you for that role. And then for some of our founders who are wondering how in the current state of life sciences, how am I going to get to that exit? If you could talk a little bit about how you got to that successful exit for Ramen ID.
Yeah, absolutely. So this work is absolutely personal. I lost my dad to late stage cancer, and it was really too late for us to do anything. And that experience changed everything for me. And that's why I believe early detection can save life. I always keep asking myself if actually we detected early that disease, his story will be totally different. And that's the experience, and I guess my professional background as a chemical engineer, putting these two together set me for a success to lead and scale up biotech company, including Calico and Raman ID. The exit of Raman ID, a part of being really smart about when market's shifting. Like all founders, they start company based on real time problem they want to solve. We started Raman ID during COVID. We were planning to create a point of care platform for COVID, but market, as we all know, shifted very quickly, and we had to adjust our platform since it's for early detection of pathogen and bacteria. We adjusted the platform to enable us to do food safety, and that's how we got acquired. It's just being adaptable. And my message to founders: always find your why, because hard day will come. The only thing will carry you through is the problem that you're passionate about to solve and your purpose. So that's always find your why and always lead with purpose.
I love that. I love that your passion is so, it's just inspiring.
Agree. And such great advice for us. I think, as Lisa pointed out, the significance of having a why that's not anchored to an exit or an amount of money or even a product, but a problem, which is early detection and that very personal connection to your father that really connects you to the people your technology is serving, who are asking the same problems, either for themselves or for a loved one, to say, how could we, could we detect this earlier? How could we get this ourselves or this loved one to a successful treatment and cure? And that early detection, solving that problem, is such a critical piece of that. So
I totally agree. And one thing to add to what we're building at EazeBio, we're not just actually in business to early detection. We also, our biomarker-based platform will allow you also to tailor the treatment based on the person biology. And this is very, very important because women actually are so underrepresented in research and clinical study. One size treatment wouldn't fit all. So we're not only doing the early detection, giving a patient the tool to intervene early, we also making healthcare personal and proactive. You have the control to monitor your health, and you have the power to influence your choices. So the biomarker we're building, the platform we're building, it's allow you actually to monitor your metabolic health, and in a way you can understand how food life, like lifestyle, your choices of food, exercise, how you deal with stress, influence your gene, how it can turn it on and off, and allow you to personalize your own treatment and take control of your health. So we're really excited about what building at EazeBio, and we want to empower especially women to understand their body faster, sooner, and act faster, because early detection is key for survival and a better health outcome. And that's what EazeBio is doing. That's why it's deeply personal.
that's amazing. And what I heard you say, I think, is that you've been able to take this original inspiration from your father and carry it into your own inspiration, really as a scientist, but as a woman, seeing a completely unmet need and addressing in women's health and taking your experience as an entrepreneur, as a leader, as a scientist, and particularly in both the diagnostics space and understanding how diagnostics interacts with treatment in order to help women transform their lives, really, when it comes to these diseases that have most diseases have this epigenetic component. And it sounds like that's what you're doing. Did I get it right?
Exactly right. Exactly right. And same philosophy actually drives the book, writing Feed Your Good Gene, Avoid Autoimmune Disease. I want to share with the reader that our genes are not our fate. We can influence them. As Yolanda just said, we can turn it on and off based on our choices, like exercise, healthy diet, and how we manage stress. Genetics set the stage, but you hold the pen. And that book is really to empower reader to understand how we can take control of our health. And write our own health journey.
Right.
That's exactly right.
That's inspiring. Wow.
I like that. So a diagnostic that helps you set the stage. And the diagnostics that lets you take the pen so you can write your own journey. So the stage has been set by your genetics. But you still have that pen, and having that information is what allows you to maybe write a chapter that is different than what your genes might be pointing you to.
Absolutely. Yes, you have the power. Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
So, and in doing all of this, what has surprised you the most in your current role?
Honestly, how big the gap in women's health. I know it's. We all knew like there were gaps, but how deep that gap run, really very disappointing. Like women really facing life-threatening conditions like preeclampsia, gestational diabetes, autoimmune disease. They're struggling in silence. It's like sometimes they don't have options. They don't have the support they need. So the health system really needs to catch up. But as I mentioned earlier, it is our role, and we have to be part of that solution and try all together, work together. What's the beauty about Tri-Valley? That we need to have that community working together toward empowering women diagnostic and women health. It is what is that EazeBio doing now? We're changing that reality, one diagnostic, one woman at a time. But if the whole community come together and we can collaborate with the right strategic partner, the right, for example, building biosensor, the right clinical site as a community or the power of the team will accelerate our mission, and we will get there faster and save countless lives together.
You mentioned just the ecosystem, and so I think that actually really relates to the one question that we were talking about is what about the ecosystem? You touched on it just a sec. And what about the ecosystem has contributed to your success?
So being part of Tri-Valley ecosystem, it gave me access to really amazing resources. Not just the talents, it's also the lab, the facility, a meaningful partnership with a lot of innovators. The community is really a hub of great minds. And everybody wants you to succeed, So that blend of innovation and community, it's really what I love the most about Tri-Valley. I know we all we always want to be part of Silicon Valley, but Tri-Valley has its own unique community sense where you really can innovate without losing the human sense. Unlike Silicon Valley, where all it's about burnout mentality, when is the next funding round? When we're gonna hit that milestone? Versus here, you can innovate, you can work and collaborate, and you still can have space to breathe. You know, you need that. You need to keep your brain sharp and be able to balance your life and your work, take that pressure out. And, you know, like, for me, it's really the balance, you know, innovation and space to breathe. That's what I love the most.
I love to hear that, because that is something that we would like to shine about the Tri-Valley and about Pleasanton, is that you can start and grow your company here, but you can have a work-life balance. And so that's wonderful to hear. And so what do you love about living and working here in the Tri-Valley?
Personally, I love the balance, as you just said. I can go in the lab. It's really close to my home. I can do all the experiment I want, and then in the evening I go for a nice hike. It's just refreshing, and I get access to Livermore Lab, a lot of research hub that in the area. We have a lot of activity where Yolanda and Daybreak Lab arranged for us lunch and learn, a lot of opportunity to connect with the community, build meaningful partnership with AI company, technology company. And as you know, now it's we all know healthcare is not just about molecules. It's about, AI, sensor, digital health. And we have the ecosystem here to provide all of those resources in one place. You don't really need to go and look for, innovator in that field. Yolanda bring all those to the table, and we always have really the most meaningful partnership, because we're not competing with each other. We really like to help each other. Everyone wants you to succeed, and that's what I love the most here. Genuinely, everyone wants to succeed. The sense of community is amazing.
Love that. All boats rise.
And we say that a lot
Yes.
in the Tri-Valley, all boats rise. And I've heard, I think every mayor say, something along those
Yes.
lines, like a success for a company in a different town means more jobs for everyone. And I think, and then there's also the component that we don't talk about very much, but you mentioned, being able to end with a hike. So there's this personal care, but also the ability, because you are living and working relatively close to your home, to participate in civic life or in your children's life or in some hobby that's really meaningful to you. But it is something that I assume from the city standpoint is, I know that working with Lisa, there's a lot of commissions. All the cities have different kinds of commissions where people need to volunteer their time and expertise.
Oh, yeah.
And
absolutely.
being able to be, a founder and have the ability to also offer expertise. Like even we did the event together, how the two of you met with the Startup Tri-Valley, the Tri-Valley Life Sciences Summit in last October. And Reem was able to contribute to the CEO roundtable and provide that kind of leadership for the city, which is, it's a big thing. Right?
Yeah, we were really excited. We hosted the CEO roundtable, and we were honored to have you there. And it was nice to see that there was a mix of women, men. That that wasn't just all men. It was very much represented. There was a balance, and so we were so grateful that you could participate in that. And then just planning the Life Sciences Summit with you, Yolanda, and the rest of the team was really inspiring. And Yolanda, you mentioned the city commissions and committees. Pleasanton has our Economic Vitality Committee, and the members on that committee represent different industries. And we have a life sciences representative. It's currently vacant, and we are we have recruitment is open at this time, and so there's my plug for that. But
in case Reem needs another job,
right? Exactly. But it is wonderful that we get different experts or people who are in that field to help us understand what is needed to, to encourage and to support economic vitality in Pleasanton and in the greater Tri-Valley.
Absolutely agree. I am. It was an honor for me to participate, and I loved seeing how the local leader coming together and supporting each other. It's just amazing. It was really great. Thank you for planning and coordinating and having me as well part of that community. It is really. This is how you build. I guess not just businesses. Legacy, right? This is how you make impact in your community, getting all together toward building a better community for our families. We live here and we want to make this a better place for our kids.
Absolutely.
So that building on that comment, making it a better place for our kids. What opportunities do you see for your company as you grow in the next 5 years? And then conversely, what challenges do you see and strategies to overcome?
Yes. We definitely are very excited about the progress we already made. We had a pilot clinical study that proved our clinical utility for our novel biomarkers. So we believe we will be the leader in metabolic health. In 5 years, we will have a product that would save women's lives and improve health. If we're doing it right, like the home testing, the biosensor, we're really not only going to improve life, we're going to redefine what does mean to be healthy. We will be able, what we envision, be able actually to detect disease before starting. We want to shift the healthcare from reactive to real-time monitoring, where you can act faster and have the tool to intervene earlier and get a better health outcome. And I guess building on that, we will expand. So now we're focusing on metabolic health, autoimmune disease, pregnancy complication, but we want to really expand to cancer. Because as you know, like for your scientists, Yolanda, and sometimes it's like early detection is the only way to, it's the key for survival.
Yeah.
And some of cancer, like ovarian cancer, it's hard to detect. Like people really go when it's really final stage, and it's really heartbreaking. Versus if you do like continuous monitoring, or you can include those biomarker as a screening tool, you would be able to save countless lives. And that's what EazeBio all about. Yeah.
Right. And it's what I'm hearing you say is what you've identified in your initial go-to-market is something you can move, kind of lift and shift after you've established those markets to other specific diseases where if you're detecting the disease because of a symptom, you may be past the point of an effective treatment.
Yep.
And that by expanding your company's vision or expanding your company's offering in time to include continuous monitoring,
yes,
you'll be able to address some of these very hard to detect diseases much earlier, where there's a clinical intervention would actually be significant.
Absolutely. Yes.
That's amazing. And
yes,
so I'm curious how do you see the expansion sounds like more people, more space, et cetera. How do you see that interacting with the Tri-Valley in terms of the talent pool available, and who will you be looking for?
Yeah, so currently we're hiring for engineers and scientists, and we're looking also for partners and investors, smart money to accelerate our work. Daybreak Lab been amazing, and especially we have room to grow. And what I love about Daybreak Lab, like even if we sometimes if you need to do something that it's very advanced, Yolanda said relationship with a lot of institute, and big lab that allow us to do some work there. So I feel very confident that Tri-Valley will be the best place for us to grow our business. And currently, I'm really excited. Our team, we have 9 people currently on our board, and we're hiring. So things, it's been really exciting for us.
So we can put if you have those positions to advertise, we can put those links in our show notes so you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe someone in our audience.
Yes. If they're mission driven, and they even if they don't have the expertise we're looking for, we love to take intern as well.
Oh, yes. That's fantastic. I'm glad you mentioned internships, because I know we have so many events planned, one in women's health that will, of course, feature Reem Mahrat, and then also an EazeBio. And also, we are partnering with Las Positas College to help expose the college students to internships here in the Tri-Valley. And I'm curious, for those preparing for their career in the life sciences, someone who wants to be maybe an intern in your company or one like your company, and is very early, first, second year college student, maybe at Las Positas College, maybe even in high school, looking at what to do next. What advice would you give them in order to prepare not only to work in a company like yours? Maybe part of the reason they want to work in a company like yours is because one day they want to start a company like yours. So.
Yes. The best advice, I guess, go beyond science. Always understand the business, and always find your why, because that's what carry you through. Surround yourself with the really believers. They challenge you, but they're the one who holds you up. And don't be afraid of taking risk. Dream big and follow your dream, but also put the effort. Be cross-disciplinary, as I alluded earlier. Now with the AI and the digital health and chemistry and biology changed a lot. So you really need to advance your skills every day. You need to learn and be open. And not only read about the process, go and learn it. A lot of, leaders in the industry, they specialize in one thing. And when you're leading a team, especially in biotech, and it's like we know it's advancing very quickly every single day, you really need to have a deep understanding of the process, because you can utilize what's new tool. Like, for example, now we're building biosensor. I'm not the expert in building biosensor, right? But I am a chemical engineer. I had to learn how I can utilize that new technology to build something, the next generation diagnostic. And that's what you need. You always have to look what's new, how you can utilize it. I believe science by itself really can save the world. The people do. And you need to have the purpose, like to lead your career, because that's the thing you can be part of it for your entire life, right? Your mission, your dedication to what you want to build, that's what it's gonna take you to the finish line.
That's such an inspiring and helpful way to frame it, Reem, because if I'm hearing you correctly, you're talking to students, but I think anyone who's listening, to really understand why they're doing what they're doing, or if they want to change what they're doing to have more impact, to understand that why, and that the why will allow you to focus on outcome, which gives you room to learn, to accept different things that didn't exist when you found your why. And learn how to have the incentive to learn how to apply those things. So, for example, AI was not something that I learned in school, but that doesn't mean I don't want to understand how artificial intelligence is going to be able to transform the work that we do in Startup Tri-Valley. You're applying it to your technology because there's a utility there. And and there's an interesting, I think maybe as a scientist, I didn't hear you say those words, but in my head, I was translating what you said to understanding your process at a first principle level.
Yes.
So if you understand the process of how you get from idea to application to product to capturing a market, then you can see the principle behind everything and learn and accept the new tools that emerge and apply them so you can get there most effectively.
Absolutely, yes. And you know what's missing too, right?
Right. Exactly. Yes. You'll recognize the missing link when you see it.
The problem with founders, they love their babies and they don't accept like when someone tell you your baby is not beautiful, right? Like it's your baby and you don't see what's missing, it's like when you're building your startup. And that's why surround yourself with those people who are really transparent but also educate yourself so you would be able to be open-minded, figure out what's missing, like for me, when I build something, as always, it's mission-driven. And it's not about building product. It's really about solving problem. And science will follow. So that's it. Like focus on the pain point. Science will follow. But be a leader and, go and learn and build a team and understand that it is what you're building today. It might not work for, the 10 years from now. So be open-minded.
That's amazing.
That's great.
Yeah. Lisa,
I just, so as I was listening, because I have, older children and I have children that are like in high school, and you talked about internships and things, and my son is applying for college, and so he's in the Biomed Academy at Dublin High, and we had those students come and volunteer at the Life Sciences Summit because I wanted them to have this opportunity to be surrounded by all of this energy, this positive, amazing energy, and I'm just like, kind of hearing all of what you're saying, that I think is just like, I want them to hear a little bit, I want them to hear this more. So I think it's just amazing how like you were saying, the partnership now that Startup Tri-Valley has with Las Positas College. And so I just hope that we can, create those opportunities more for our students, because they're the future of our talent here in the Tri-Valley. And there's so many that are interested in health and in life sciences and biotech. So
absolutely. And it's such an impacted career path right now as well. So I know that all the healthcare companies are having trouble attracting, they need more people. And we have some big healthcare problems to solve as well. Yeah. So we need everyone. We need the engineers. We need the future engineers, future doctors, future nurses, future technologists, future everything. And yes, getting them excited is really important. And giving this advice, I think, to help them chart a path. And I think the purpose is what helps you find your path, is what I think I'm really taking away from your remarks, Reem.
Yes.
And I have a feeling some of this might apply to any founder as well, but I'm curious if you have any additional words of wisdom for founders who might be in the audience, especially life science founders, but even founders who are working in other industries.
I believe all founders struggle with time management. So I want to say, for me, I learned it, the hard way. It's really not about time management. It's really about attention. Control your attention. So focus on what really matters, right? And always, for me, like I like my meetings short and focus. I delegate whenever it's possible. I focus like for me, I focus on the deep work, critical thinking, and I like to keep things as like very impactful, focus, be efficient. Only by mastering attention control, it is the key to make time work for you, not against you. I feel always founders say, "Oh, I'm overwhelmed. I don't have time." So if you want to have time, shift your focus on what really truly matters. Mastering attention is the key to make time work for you, not against you.
I love that. Master attention to make time work for you.
That's great
not
advice.
Against you, because we always struggle with time. It's just hard.
And I like the shift away from time management to attention management.
Yes.
Because sometimes you can't manage your time. Something deserves your full attention. It might take your whole day.
Yolanda, you know what's the sad thing? Like 10 years ago, attention span used to be 3 minutes. 10 years ago. Now it is down to 47 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah. It is really bad, especially, with the technology and all of those social media. So it is really hard to control your attention.
Yeah, so many distractions out
So
there. You
many
really
distractions.
have to focus.
Yes.
I like that. Manage your attention.
Yeah.
I love
Focus.
that. That's great advice. So is there anything we didn't ask about that you'd like to talk about?
I believe we talked about everything, but I just want to emphasize about the urgency of women's health. It's really, we are half of the population, and we're underrepresented in research, in clinical trials, even in biotech leadership. So we need to do more, and we need to lift each other. That's all. And you're doing both, I'm so lucky to have all the support. So thank you for lifting each other. Thank you.
So with that, I'd like to thank my fantastic co-host, Lisa Adamos. And of course, thank you, Reem, for being on the podcast. We really appreciate you sharing your insight, your wisdom, and your inspiration.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Thank you.